So here starting the session, and this is the session for those who have already completed the liver. And this is an interactive question and answer session. In case you will be having any question or you want to discuss any point with me, this is for those candidates who have already completed the liver ultrasound with us. So I got some questions. First, I will take questions, then I will highlight the important points, or I will first highlight the important points. Okay, let me first highlight the important points from the liver ultrasound. Now, liver echogenicity. Liver echogenicity. How can I say that this is a hyperechoic liver, normal liver, or hypoechoic liver? What I mean is that whether I am dealing with a fatty liver or I am dealing with an inflamed liver, because in fatty liver, the ecotexture, not ecotexture, echogenicity will be increased, whereas in inflammation, the echoes will be on the lower side. Now, if I am having a scale, then only I can say whether this is 1 meter, 2 meter, or half meter. Same is here for the echogenicity also. When I am talking of a normal echogenicity, I am comparing the echogenicity with something so that I can say that whether this is increased or decreased. This is covered in your course. I'm just giving you a highlight. So whenever you are about to label a fatty liver or hepatitis, now see, the question was how to see the hepatitis. That was the first question that I got. But I will not straight away answer the question because I will make the basic first understand. Now the inflammation means that more retention of fluid. Whenever there is more retention of fluid, the echogenicity will drop or increase. It has to drop. Now coming to the basic point, this is liver. And over here, I am having a kidney. This is the kidney. This is the right side kidney. This is a renal parenchyma. Renal parenchyma has to be equal with the hepatic echo pattern. It can be a bit decreased, but it is mostly equal echogenicity. Now, whenever I am about to label a fatty liver, I have to compare the echogenicity of this liver with the kidney. Which part of the kidney? The parenchyma of the kidney. Cortex and medulla, that is the parenchyma. If I am dealing with a fatty liver, then this will increase. Why I am putting much effort in making you clear this thing? Because maybe that you have overgained the picture. And if you will overgain the picture, the liver will look like it is more echogenic. Actually, it is not. Now, who will decide and what points will decide here whether this is an overgained picture or a normal gained picture? Because overgained picture will look like increased ecotexture, so that you will not overdiagnose a fatty liver. That is why these fatty livers are overdiagnosed. Now, in comparison, this liver with this kidney makes sense, because if it is overgained, the comparison will stand over there. it will show you that it is increased. Liver is actually increased. So always and always compare, compare, and compare. Now you might be thinking, what on to the left side? Left side, I am having kidney again, and I am having a spleen over here. Now here I will compare it with the spleen to say whether this is normal kidney or abnormal kidney. Now here I am not dealing with the liver. I'm not having a liver. So if you have to now compare the kidney, whether this is an inflamed kidney, kidney can be also inflamed. So the point is that whenever we are talking of echogenicity, echogenicity, we are actually comparing the echogenicity of any area with some area, and if it is more than that area with what I am comparing, then it is hyperechoic. So now coming to the question, what will you see in a this hepatitis? Now in hepatitis, you will tell me what you will expect now. You will expect a drop in the echogenicity because in inflammation there is a retention of fluid. So I will be having more of fluid in liver and the echogenicity will fall. Now how can I say that this liver is having a decreased echogenicity? Again, go to the kidney, see the kidney echotexture, and if the echotexture of this, which part of the kidney, parenchyma, is more than, now see, I told you that the echotexture, actually echogenicity is almost equal. Liver and the renal parenchyma, they are equal. Now if the liver is dropped in echogenicity, this will look like hyperechoic. It is not actually hyperechoic. It is not increasing. The parenchyma of the kidney is not increasing. It is in comparison more than the liver. So whenever I am now see, the comparison is making sense. Comparison only. So now when I am comparing the liver with the renal parenchyma, this will be decreased. What will be decreased? Echogenicity will be decreased. So whenever there is a drop in the echogenicity, that is going in favor of inflammation. That is what you will expect in the liver inflammation, be it the hepatitis or even congestive cardiac failure. And now I have covered both questions. Congestive cardiac failure. In congestive cardiac failure also, the drop will be there in echogenicity. Now, one more important point. Whenever I am dealing with the hepatomegaly, I have to see liver in transverse as well as in longitudinal section. Now this transverse section and this longitudinal section will give me an understanding whether the liver is increased, see to my body, increased this way or this way. It means if it is more in anterior posterior or it is more in superior inferior. If you will be palpating the liver, no question. This is very important question. If you are palpating the liver and you are able to see a tip of liver on palpation, it means that you are palpating the liver. Where it is increased? In comment boxes now. Please post in comment boxes. Where it is increased, in longitudinal section or in transverse section? I am repeating the question. In case of increased in liver, I mean on palpation, whenever I'm palpating and I am able to palpate the liver, is that palpable liver, clinically I mean, increased in transverse or in longitudinal section? In comment boxes now. How many longitudinals are there?
3, 4, 5.
3, 4, 5. Anybody with the transverse section?
No.
No. Very good. Thank you very much. I got 100% answers right. In longitudinal section, now what you have to do, you have to see the liver in both transverse as well as longitudinal. Now come back to the fatty liver. Fatty liver. This fatty liver is increased in transverse, more in transverse section. That means from anterior to posterior. That is why it will not be always palpable. And if it is only increased in transverse section, then it will not be palpated at all. So this way you can make out whether you are dealing with the fatty liver or the hepatomegaly. Actually, the hepatomegaly is the broad term used to describe the increased liver, but it does not define whether it is increased in transverse or in longitudinal section. So you have to make a note in your report whether you are seeing it more in longitudinal or more in the this transverse section. Okay. So let me see if I am having more questions. So I will take both. I will take questions as well as I will highlight the important points. So the important point here is that portal vein. Now see, portal veins and hepatic veins. How to differentiate whether I am dealing with a hepatic vein or a portal vein? Recall from your classes that one is having this portal vein is having more bright walled than this hepatic vein. This is already discussed with you. And there is a portal triad. Now see, in portal triad, portal PT, portal triad. In portal triad, I am having portal vein, I am having hepatic artery, and I am having bile duct. This is portal triad. Hepatic veins are not a component of this triad. And this triad, portal triad, is seen throughout the liver. It means that this hepatic vein, anywhere in liver, will not be seen with this portal triad. And hepatic veins are more superficial than the portal veins. So this is also a very important point which you have to remember for whole of your life, that portal veins and hepatic veins, this portal vein is seen more deep in the liver, and this hepatic vein is seen more superficially. That is why whenever I am cutting liver superficially, I am able to see the hepatic veins. Okay, so and one more important point over here is that the configuration. What I mean by configuration, if I am seeing one vein, now this green will be hepatic vein, and the other color will be the portal vein. Portal vein. They are perpendicular to each other. They are perpendicular to each other. That is why if I am now, see, if I am cutting a slice, this is the ultrasound slice. If I am seeing one in long axis, another has to be in a cross section. So this is also a very important point, that both are at perpendicular to each other. That is why whenever I am cutting one in transverse, other will be cutted automatically in long axis. Ligamentum teres. Ligamentum teres, very important thing. You should know about the ligamentum of teres. What is this actually? This is obliterated remnant of umbilical vein. Umbilical vein. Umbilical vein. I'm not taking these things in detail because this is already covered in your course. I'm just giving you a quick recap what you should remember over here. This is the remnant of the umbilical vein, and now see, it can recanalize in portal hypertension. It can recanalize. This is the point over here. It can recanalize. Where? In portal hypertension. Now, if I am suspecting, now see, if I am suspecting a portal hypertension, why not to go to this ligament of teres and see whether I am having a dilated, by dilated, I mean the recanalization of this ligament of teres by seeing a hypoechoic or an anechoic structure. I will show you on the pictures. You please remind me if I forget. This is the important point, that in case of portal hypertension, you can confirm by going to the ligament of teres and see whether I am having a dilated, by dilated I mean that recanalized ligament of teres or not. And second thing is that ligamentum of venosum. Second is ligamentum of venosum. SUM. Now this is obliterated fetal remnant of ductus venosus. Now this is not the umbilical vein, this is ductus venosus. Now this does not recanalize. This does not recanalize in any pathology. And it separates actually the left lobe of the caudate lobe. Now it separates the left lobe. You see, left lobe is here. If this is left lobe from caudate lobe. So this ligament separates the left lobe from caudate lobe. So this is the point which I should know, that this ligament of venosum does not recanalize in any pathology, and it divides actually the left lobe from the caudate lobe. Why I should know about the caudate lobe? Because this caudate lobe can be spared in many pathologies. Maybe it can even spare in the fatty liver, and then it will look like a mess. And if I don't know that there is something caudate lobe and where that is, I may easily overdiagnose a case. And I can think on lines of some abnormality. So that is why I should know about the caudate lobe. Then the fetal Doppler, this hepatic Doppler, that is very important. What I have to see over there, I have to see some vessels over there. First is the portal vein itself. So main portal vein, main portal vein, MPV. So I have to see the main portal vein. What is the flow over here? Continuous forward flow with a hepatopetal flow. So undulating pattern will be there. And abnormalcy. What I mean by that, now see, we have already discussed this in your class. So it means that main portal vein will look like this, but it will not have any pulsations. It will not have any pulsations. That is the point. And if it is seen on the other side, now see, it is seen over here. And if I see on the other side of the base side, it means that it has reversed. So this is the portal vein, which is discussed with you. Then the hepatic artery has to also see. Hepatic artery is the next in hepatic Doppler. Hepatic artery I have to see, and I have to see the hepatic veins also. Hepatic veins. So these are the three things which I have to see, which is already discussed with you: main portal vein, hepatic artery, hepatic vein. What is the flow? Where is which flow? How to interpret this? That is already taken in your class. So then 30 fibrotic. So I'm just recalling the important points over there. Yes, in fatty liver, you should know. In fatty liver, in fatty liver, you should know about two things. One is focal sparing, and another is focal infiltration. If there is a focal sparing or focal infiltration, it will look like a mess. It will look like a mess. Now, before diagnosing, before making a diagnosis of a simple hemangioma, you have to think first, maybe that I am dealing with a focal infiltration of fat, because focal infiltrated fat will also look like a hyperechoic area. So then I can overdiagnose it. And in case of focal infiltration, I will get a hypoechoic patch in focal in speared area, not an infiltration, in speared area. I will see a focal area which is of decreased echogenicity. So then I can again think on lines of some abnormality. So keep these points in your mind, that in focal, that in fatty liver, the focal area can be speared or can be having some fat infiltrations. And these areas are mostly seen near the gallbladder. So if you see a hyperechoic patch near the gallbladder, then think on lines of the possibility of having the focal sparing or the focal invasion infiltration of the fat. It depends on whether you are having a hyper or hypoechoic patch. So now I will show you some pictures so that you can get a clear understanding of these pathologies. So now I will switch to some pictures and we will discuss over there. And meanwhile, if you are having any question, I am waiting for the questions. You can post in the comment section. Dr. Shaina.
Ji sir.
Yeah. Now we will show you some pictures of ultrasound of liver. Dr. Shaina, what you are seeing on your screen? Yeah, tell me. What you are seeing on your screen? Are you seeing anything on your screen or no?
Transverse section of liver.
Section. First, is this a transverse or a longitudinal section?
Transverse section.
Transverse section of the liver. Okay. Is this fat liver? Wait. We are not photographers. Just one line answer will not do. Not one word. Not speaking of one word. Okay. Put it here. Okay. Is this fatty liver? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes or no? Tell me yes.
No,
or
sir. We can. We are not comparing it with kidney.
Very good. Now we don't have a comparison, so we cannot make a diagnosis of a fatty liver here. But I am getting a clue.
But there is a fatty patch.
Wait. But I can get a clue that this is fatty liver. How? Where from? Without kidney.
Yes.
How? Are you getting the question?
Sir, by comparing with other parenchyma of the liver, there is some diffuse fatty patch.
Please control your background noise, or please mute your microphone then. You cannot join the class with the background noise. Please mute yourself. Yes. Dr. Harvinder.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Is this fatty liver? And if yes, why this is fatty liver?
So there is attenuation of the ultrasound beam.
Very good. Now see this area over here. Now see this area, the posterior area, I mean, here. There is some attenuation of the beam. And the diaphragm, now see the diaphragm. Diaphragm is not very clear. It means that the beam is penetrating. Now see, the beam is penetrating and it is not coming properly in this area due to the fat in this area. Now, what else I am seeing over here, Dr. Harvinder?
So there are areas of focal sparing.
That is what I told you. If there is some fatty sparing or some infiltration, it will be near the gallbladder. Now,
Around
see, this is the area where I am seeing a patch, and this is focal fatty speared area. Speared area. So this is the sparing for focal fatty sparing. Okay. So, but I haven't have to compare it with the kidney, then I can make, this is the clear case of fatty liver. Why? Because there is posterior attenuation over here and there is a patch where I am having a decreased echogenicity, which is the focal fatty speared area. Speared area. Wait, I have to go to the next one. So let me choose all, then we will go with all. Okay. So this was the first picture. This is the same case in other scan plane. So this is more of a longitudinal section over there. And this is again, this is the thing what I have to discuss with you. Wait. This is the liver. Okay, this is the liver. Sorry, spleen. This is the spleen, which is about 20 centimeters. So this is a splenomegaly. What else I have to see in this patient whenever I am seeing a splenomegaly? For example, I am starting from the spleen, which I'm not starting from the spleen. But if I will put a probe on spleen first and I'm seeing a splenomegaly, what I have to see next? Dr. Harvinder.
So is there any dilatation of the splenic vein?
Okay, done. Now see, this is the splenic vein over here. Okay, this is the splenic vein, and this splenic vein is about a 13 millimeters, 1.3. Here it is 1.29. So this is approximately 1.3, 13 millimeters. Is this increased, dilated? I mean, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So what is the cut
10.
over here?
10, sir.
10 is the cut. Now I am now going to the liver.
Yes, sir.
What I am seeing in the liver is these bunch of vessels, not vessels, I will say, because I have not put a color yet. I am seeing a bunch of anechoic tubular areas.
Yes, sir.
What this can be?
So this can
collateral,
be collateral,
portal
sir.
cavernoma.
Please repeat
Yes,
again.
sir. Cavernous transformation of the portal
Cavernous
vein, sir.
transformation. But these can be a bunch of dilated bile ducts also, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. What will differentiate whether I am dealing with the cavernous transformation of portal vein or a dilatation of the bile ducts?
Color, sir.
Color. So I will put a color, and if they take color, then I am dealing with the cavernous transformation of the portal vein. Now see, these are taking the color, these are, so this is the case of the cavernous transformation of portal vein, where I am seeing these cystic tubular anechoic areas, and on putting color, they all take color. So this is the portal, this is the cavernous transformation of portal vein. Now, wait, let me go to one. Yeah. Doctor, who is with me? Dr. Harvinder, and next, what is her name? Dr. Shahina, right? Probably she is out. Dr. Harvinder.
Yes, sir.
What I am seeing over here, what is this and which vessel is this?
So the vessel which is in the longitudinal section, That is the portal vein because the walls. No, sir. That is the hepatic vein because
That
of
is the
the
point.
physics.
Okay. So what you have
Physics.
to first see, you have to see to the walls. That is what I am repeating time and again. You have to see to the walls, walls and walls. The one which is having a bright wall has to be a portal vein. Then I told you that the hepatic veins and the portal veins, they are perpendicular to each other. If one is in long section, cut it. Another has to be in the transverse section. Now, this is the hepatic vein. Now see over here, this is the portal vein for sure. Why? Because this is cutted in transverse section. Now, Dr. Arvinder,
Yes,
which vein is this?
so this is the middle hepatic vein.
Middle hepatic vein. Okay, no, I'm not convinced with the middle hepatic vein. Here I cannot see whether this is middle or right hepatic vein. I have to see in continuation. Okay, now if this is a right hepatic vein, which segment is this? Let us suppose that this is the right hepatic vein. Which segment is this? Don't give me segments. Okay, don't give me segments. Whether I am dealing with a superficial segment or a deeper segment, then if you know which segments are superficial and which are deeper, then you will memorize for whole of your life. Am I cutting superficial areas, not areas, superficial lobe segments or deeper segments?
The superficial segment and this will be
Superficial. Why?
segment 7.
Why?
Because the veins, they are superficial.
Very good. Now see, these veins are telling me that I am cutting liver superficially. Yes. So this is right. This is right. Yeah, this is the right hepatic vein. Now, see how the comparison is making the diagnosis over here. This liver is more ecogenic than this parenchyma. This is what we told you. You have to see in comparison, in comparison. Okay. Now this is the left portal vein. Okay. I am giving you a clue that this is the left portal vein. Dr. Harvinder, right portal vein will lead me to the neck of the gallbladder. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right portal vein. But the left portal vein will lead me to
ligamentum teres, sir.
This is where I have to see for the ligamentum of teres. This is where I have to see for any recanalization in case of the portal hypertension. Okay. So,
yes.
Okay, this is a right and this is the left. Okay, what is there? What is this?
The ductus venosus. Ligamentum ductus venosus, sir.
Yes, and what lobe? Which segment is this? Which lobe is this? Not segment.
Caudate lobe.
This is the caudate lobe, which can be spared. So this is the location of the caudate also. Okay, now see the beautiful picture of right and the left portal vein. And this is how the liver is looking. Now see, this liver is almost equal with the liver, this kidney parenchyma.
Yes.
Okay. Now compare with this. This is more. This is more. So this is fatty for sure. And the previous one was not. Okay. Now see, pay attention over here. This is the left portal vein, which is leading to the ligamentum of teres. Pay attention to this ligamentum of teres over here.
Yes.
This is the ligamentum of teres. I have to see for this ligamentum of teres in case of portal hypertension. And in this case, the portal vein was about 13 millimeters, and that is on the upper side, mildly dilated. And this is the caudate in that patient. This is the caudate. This is the caudate which is spared. This looks like a mass over there. If I don't know that this is the caudate, this is the importance of knowing the caudate lobe. And in this patient, this much was the spleen. This was, of course, a very big spleen, and this was the confirmed case of the portal hypertension. So let me see what else we have here. Yes. Dr. Harvinder, this is liver. Okay.
Yes,
this is the diaphragm over here. And what this can be?
So this can be Caudate lobe, sir.
Caudate lobe. No, this is not at the level of the caudate. Patient is febrile. I'm giving the history.
This is
Patient is febrile.
abscess, sir. Hepatic
Yes.
abscess.
Now see, this is not at the level of the caudate. Patient is
Yes.
febrile, and see to the contours. The contours are irregular, not sharp contours I am having. And most of these, not all, most of the liver abscesses are more posteriorly in the liver. So now see, this is at the level of somewhere posteriorly at the level of the diaphragm, I can say. Now see over here, this is the abscess. Now question, if I will rescan this patient after 7 days, after 10 days, what I will expect this area to be if patient is scanned after 7-10 days after antibiotic cover and all these treatments, what I will expect the echogenicity?
The hypoechoic.
Drop. Same, drop.
Yes, sir. Drop in
there will be a
echogenicity.
drop. Can I aspirate this abscess? Can I attempt to put a needle, or will I suggest to put a needle in this abscess? Yes or no? And if no, why?
So no.
No, why?
So because it is not liquefied yet.
Very good, because this is not liquefied. So unless and until I will be having more of black and less of, very less of these gray shade, it means that I am dealing with more of, there should be more of jet black. Unless and until I will not see that the area is liquefied, don't put the needle. And even if you will put a needle, you are in the area, you will not be able to aspirate. So these are the things. Now see, this is a right hepatic vein, this is middle, and this is the left hepatic vein. Okay. So these were some pictures of some pathologies over there. So let me see if we are having anything more to show you. We are having many things to show you, but let me take this one. Okay. For beginners, right now I'm in transverse section. I'm in transverse section because I am seeing like this. Now see to my probe. I am in transverse section. I'm in transverse section where the probe is. This is the portal vein over here. If I am going to the right portal vein, I will lead to the, it will lead me to the neck of the gallbladder. Over here, right portal vein, see where the probe is. When it is coming over here. Yes, this is the area of the caudate lobe over here. Pause over there, but you are able to see a Y-shaped area over here, and beneath that tail of the Y, you are seeing the caudate lobe. So this is how it is. It is here. It is here. Pay attention. Yes. Yeah. So this is the area of the caudate over here. I will play this again. So this is live demonstration on patient. Yes, I'm trying to freeze this. It's not getting freezed over here, but you got the area. And this is the right portal vein, which is taking me to the neck of the gallbladder, and the left portal vein will lead me to what that is discussed. So, but the point for now is that I am in transverse section. See where the probe is. To get the longitudinal section, I have to put probe somewhere here so that I will see now kidney also. So once I see the kidney and I see the liver in length, then I have to compare also, and I am in the long axis. Now, if I will measure from here, from this point to this point, am I measuring the anterior posterior or longitudinal? I am measuring anterior posterior. This is, if this is the fatty liver, this will be more in anterior posterior. That is why it will not be easily palpable. It will not be palpable if it is only and only increased in anterior posterior. So make a note that these fatty livers may not be palpable. So Anil, this is the technique how we are scanning. Now I am in complete transverse section. I am now cutting to the gallbladder. Dr. Harvinder, I am seeing gallbladder.
Yes,
Which
sir.
part of the liver I am cutting, superficial or deep?
Deep, sir.
Deep. I am seeing the portal vein. For example, I am not seeing the gallbladder. I am seeing the portal veins. Which part of the liver I am cutting, superficial or deep?
Mid, sir.
Huh?
Mid part, sir.
Yes, somewhere in the mid part, but not the superficial one. So
Yes,
make a
sir.
note that whenever I'm seeing more of the hepatic veins, you are more superficially. When you are going to the gallbladder, you are seeing the gallbladder, you are in the deeper section. So these are the probe movements over here. So this is also in your course, but we are now discussing these videos and these clips over here. Now see the right portal vein and pay attention to the left one, which will take me to the area what is interested in the portal hypertension. Beautiful. Now see, this is the caudate over here. This is the caudate. This is the caudate. So this ligament is dividing. Now see, this is dividing the left lobe. That is what I draw on the blackboard. Caudate from the left lobe. In transverse section. So to go to the longitudinal section, now I am now scanning from the pancreas. Now see, from the pancreas, I am scanning, and what I am seeing this area, is this right or the left lobe? Not Arvinder.
Left lobe.
This is part of
Left
so
lobe.
this is the part of the left
Left
lobe.
lobe.
So this is not for experienced. This is for the beginners who have just started the career or have switched from the fetal to the abdominal scanning. This is how we are scanning the liver. In case you are having any questions, we have already taken all these things via our website with you. Right now, we are taking only questions. So if you have any questions, you can post me now. Else, we will take your leave and we will see you very shortly. So next, what you have to do, you have to complete the next topic, and what the next topic will be, we will update in your WhatsApp groups, batch WhatsApp groups, I mean. Arpita, come here.